Where's your apology?
To who?
To who? If you truly feel bad,
I
own
take
up to it,
responsibility
like a
for
woman,
my
and apologize.
behavior. I started this conversation. I apologize for my behavior.
You didn't apologize
in
to us.
Lauren's house, but I only take responsibility for my behavior. That's it.
Where do you get the audacity to say how he's this, how he's that? What the kind of behavior is that for a woman? Literally.
We want an apology. Let's go.
This week on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9, Episode 22, drama reaches an all-time high. Andrei shocks everyone with a confrontation that leaves Elizabeth rushing off stage mid-panic attack, while a bombshell revelation about Jovi and Yara sends Yara into tears on camera.
What's your reaction to hearing Andrei bragging that he was giving you an ultimatum?
I just think it's a little disrespectful towards me. But at any rate, it would be the other way around. Because at this point, I told him, if you want to go, go. I'm not going. So that's your ultimatum. If you want to play that game, I can play that game too. Because it's not happening.
Andrei, it seems like she's made up her mind.
In this relationship, I'm wearing the pants, if you haven't noticed.
Okay, go wear them in Moldova.
Well, certainly I will.
In a shocking turn of events on this week's 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. Season 9, Episode 22, viewers witnessed a confrontation that has left both cast members and fans reeling. The Tell All Part 4 episode, intended to provide closure and reflection for the couples, instead turned into a night of unprecedented drama when Andrei Castravet crossed a line with both Elizabeth Potthast and Lauren's friend Noga, sparking outrage and disbelief. The episode began with a tense exchange between Andrei and Elizabeth. What initially seemed like a routine recap of their ongoing struggles escalated almost immediately. Andrei, known for his often brusque and insensitive remarks, made a comment regarding Elizabeth's past behavior that shocked everyone in the room. According to eyewitness reactions captured on camera, cast members froze in disbelief, unable to process the intensity of the remark. Noga, sitting close by, attempted to interject, but Andrei dismissed her entirely, creating an immediate sense of unease in the room. Sources close to the production reveal that the exchange quickly turned personal. Andrei, displaying a level of disregard that few expected, questioned Elizabeth's commitment to their marriage in front of the entire cast. He completely disregarded her feelings, one crew member said off camera. Elizabeth didn't just react, she panicked, she left the stage. It was one of the most shocking moments we've ever filmed. Indeed, the footage shows Elizabeth exiting mid-conversation, visibly overwhelmed, clutching her chest in what many are calling a panic attack. The fallout was immediate. Fellow cast members, including Lauren and her family, attempted to mediate the situation, but Andrei refused to acknowledge the impact of his words. The tension in the room was palpable, with whispers of disbelief and concern rippling throughout the set. Fans watching live on social media immediately reacted, with hashtags like #AndreiCrosses, The Line, and #ElizabethPaulPanicAttack trending within hours of the episode airing. Therapist and 90 Day, the last resort expert doctor, Janie Lacey, who has been following the season closely, weighed in on the incident. When we see repeated patterns of dismissive and disrespectful behavior in relationships, it often signals deeper emotional disconnects and unresolved issues, Lacey explained. In Elizabeth and Andrei's case, the intensity of this confrontation, combined with the public setting, amplifies the emotional damage. This isn't just a single outburst. It's part of a larger dynamic that's been building over time. While viewers have long speculated about the volatility of Andrei and Elizabeth's relationship, this episode provided a rare, unfiltered glimpse into the raw tension that has been simmering for years. Multiple cast members, speaking under anonymity, confirmed that the producers were unprepared for the intensity of the moment. No one expected Elizabeth to leave like that. It was alarming, but it showed just how high the stakes were, one source said. In addition to the interpersonal drama, the episode subtly highlighted how public scrutiny adds pressure to the couple's already fragile relationships. With cameras documenting every glance, sigh, and reaction, the cast is under constant observation, which can exacerbate existing tensions. The tell-all is designed to reflect on the past, but when emotions run this high, it becomes a pressure cooker. Dr. Lacey noted. It's a moment where underlying frustrations, insecurities, and resentment come to the surface in ways that are difficult to control. Beyond the immediate shock, Andrei's remarks triggered a broader conversation about respect, communication, and boundaries in relationships. Social media erupted with debates, fan theories, and even direct messages to the cast, demonstrating just how invested the audience is in the outcome of these real-life dramas. Elizabeth, whose emotional well-being was visibly shaken, received an outpouring of support from fans expressing solidarity and concern for her mental health. While the confrontation with Noga and Elizabeth dominated headlines, sources indicate that this was far from the only dramatic moment of the evening. Cast members whispered about underlying tensions that had been building for months, including disagreements over family dynamics, financial decisions, and long-standing resentments that have yet to be aired publicly. The episode concluded without resolution, leaving viewers with a haunting sense of uncertainty. Elizabeth's abrupt exit and Andrei's unapologetic stance created a cliffhanger that fans and commentators are still discussing, dissecting, and debating. Social media posts captured every moment, and reaction videos have already garnered millions of views within hours, demonstrating the cultural impact of this unprecedented confrontation. Industry insiders speculate that the fallout from this episode may have long-term consequences for Andrei and Elizabeth. Legal experts and entertainment analysts suggest that if tensions escalate, there could be ramifications not only for their personal lives, but also for their ongoing presence on the show. The combination of public scrutiny, emotional instability, and interpersonal conflict creates a volatile mix that producers will need to manage carefully moving forward. As 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After continues to document the lives of these couples, one thing is clear: the explosive confrontation between Andrei, Elizabeth, and Noga will be remembered as one of the most shocking moments in the series' history. Fans are left wondering what comes next, and whether Elizabeth and Andrei can navigate the treacherous waters of their marriage, or if this incident marks the beginning of the end. Atlanta, Georgia. Just when viewers thought the drama of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 9 couldn't escalate any further, Andrei Castravet delivered a bombshell that left the cast and fans alike stunned. In a revelation that no one saw coming, Andrei disclosed during the Tell-All Part 4 that Jovi Dufresne, who has been married to Yara for years, told him he wants a divorce. The moment hit like a shockwave. Cameras captured the immediate reaction. Yara, seated just feet away, visibly recoiled as if struck. Her hand flew to her face, and tears began streaming down her cheeks. The room, already tense after the confrontation between Andrei and Elizabeth, fell silent for several heart-stopping seconds. The gravity of the statement rippled through the studio, with cast members exchanging incredulous glances. Social media exploded within minutes, with hashtags like #JoviDivorce, #YaraHeartbreak, and #90DayDrama trending across platforms. Yara's emotional breakdown. The camera lingered on Yara, revealing a raw and intimate portrait of heartbreak. She confessed, I've done everything. I've tried therapy. I've tried talking. I've tried being understanding. And yet, I still can't shake this feeling that I'm not enough." Her voice trembled, her words punctuated by the sobs she could no longer contain. Fans watching live immediately empathized, flooding social media with messages of support. "Yara, we see you. She doesn't deserve this, and this is heartbreaking." Those closest to the couple, speaking off camera, say that Yara's emotional turmoil stems from years of insecurity and self-doubt. Yara has always struggled with feelings of inadequacy, especially regarding her appearance and her ability to please Jovi, one insider revealed. Even after therapy, she can't seem to shake the fear that she isn't loved the way she wants to be. The Tell-All episode allowed audiences a rare glimpse into Yara's private anguish. Unlike previous episodes where conflicts were dramatized for entertainment, this moment was painfully real. Viewers could see the weight of years of emotional strain compounded by the public exposure of her marital struggles. The context behind the bombshell. Andrei's revelation about Jovi was not made in isolation. Behind the cameras, sources indicate that tensions between the couples have been simmering for months. Jovi and Yara's marriage has been marked by frequent disagreements over communication, trust, and expectations, many of which have been subtly documented throughout Season 9. Production insiders suggest that Andrei, aware of these underlying issues, chose to disclose the information at a moment when it would maximize emotional impact. "It was calculated," said a crew member familiar with the dynamics. "Andrei knows how sensitive Yara is, and he delivered the news in a way that made the room hold its breath. It was shocking for everyone, and honestly, it bordered on cruel." Fans immediately took to social media to dissect Andrei's motives. Some argued that he was trying to deflect attention from his own marital issues with Elizabeth, while others suggested he was unconsciously revealing truths that everyone in the cast already suspected. Regardless, the fallout was immediate. Yara's vulnerability dominated discussions across forums, fan pages, and comment sections, sparking an outpouring of empathy and concern. The broader implications. Experts in relationship dynamics suggest that public disclosures of private marital struggles can exacerbate emotional distress. Dr. Janie Lacey, who has provided commentary on 90-Day Fiancé conflicts, notes, "When a personal issue like divorce is revealed in a public setting, it compounds feelings of shame, guilt, and inadequacy." Yara's reaction is not just about Jovi's statement. It's about the way her pain was made visible to an entire studio and millions of viewers. Indeed, the cameras captured Yara attempting to compose herself, brushing tears from her cheeks and taking several deep breaths. Despite these efforts, the vulnerability was undeniable. "You could see the conflict inside her," said a behind-the-scenes source. "She wanted to appear strong, but the moment was bigger than her." Andrei's comment broke through all that. Fan reactions and cultural impact. Social media platforms were inundated with real-time reactions. Within minutes, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were filled with posts analyzing the situation. One viral clip of Yara's breakdown garnered over 2 million views in hours, with thousands of comments offering support, expressing shock, or debating the ethics of Andrei revealing such sensitive information. "This is the most human I've ever seen Yara on this show," tweeted one fan. "It's painful, but it's real." Another added, "Andrei's timing, cruel. But Yara's strength? Inspirational. She deserves better." The cultural impact of this moment cannot be understated. 90-Day Fiancé has always balanced drama and reality, but the combination of marital tension, emotional exposure, and public scrutiny elevated this scene to a level rarely seen in reality television. It sparked conversations about mental health, emotional resilience, and the pressures of living one's life on camera. Behind the scenes, production insiders revealed that the crew was prepared for emotional moments, but Yara's response exceeded expectations. "We were expecting tears, maybe some tension," one source said, but the depth of her reaction, her vulnerability, was extraordinary. It was one of those rare moments where reality truly hits harder than the script. Andrei, for his part, maintained a composed exterior, though sources note that he seemed aware of the storm he had unleashed. "He knew exactly what he was doing," the insider explained, "and it's not just about Jovi or Yara. It's a reflection of the complex dynamics he has with Elizabeth, and perhaps a way of processing his own marital frustration in front of the cameras." Looking ahead. As 90-Day Fiancé continues to follow these couples, the ramifications of Andrei's revelation about Jovi and Yara are expected to unfold over their coming episodes. Fans and analysts alike are speculating whether this will lead to a permanent fracture in Jovi and Yara's marriage, and how Yara will navigate her emotional recovery in the public eye. Industry experts note that the intersection of reality TV production and personal relationships often creates pressure cooker scenarios. These couples are under a microscope. Dr. Lacey emphasizes, "Every word, every gesture is amplified. When private matters become public, it changes the way people react, sometimes in ways they can't control." For viewers, the scene served as a haunting reminder of the complexities behind the entertainment. Reality TV may package drama for consumption, but in moments like this, the pain, vulnerability, and heartbreak are undeniably real. Fans watching Yara grapple with her emotions were not only witnessing entertainment, they were witnessing an authentic human experience. Conclusion of Part 2. Andrei's bombshell about Jovi's intentions sent shockwaves through the studio and beyond, revealing hidden heartbreaks that have long simmered beneath the surface. Yara's tearful response highlighted the fragility of trust and the enduring impact of emotional insecurities. In a series known for drama and spectacle, this moment stood out for its raw authenticity, leaving fans both devastated and captivated. As the cameras rolled and social media buzzed, one thing was clear. The fallout from this revelation would continue to dominate the narrative, not just for Jovi and Yara, but for the entire Season 9 cast. Audiences are left to wonder, how will Yara recover? Will Jovi and Yara reconcile? And what other secrets might Andrei expose as the season reaches its climax? Atlanta, Georgia as 90 Day Fiancé, happily ever after. Season 9 hurtles toward its finale. The drama surrounding Andrei Castravet and Elizabeth Potthast has reached a level that demands more than viewer speculation. While the explosive confrontation and Andrei's shocking revelations regarding Jovi and Yara dominated headlines, it is the analysis of their underlying relational dynamics that provides a window into the true gravity of the situation. Dr. Janie Lacey, the licensed therapist known for her work on 90 Day The Last Resort, has spent extensive time analyzing Andrei and Elizabeth's interactions, both on and off camera. In an exclusive interview, she emphasized that the behaviors exhibited during the Tell All Part 4 episode are symptomatic of long-standing patterns that could have serious implications for the couple's future. Understanding the dynamics. According to Dr. Lacey, Andrei's repeated disregard for Elizabeth's emotional boundaries is a key indicator of a deeper disconnect. What we saw during the tell-all wasn't an isolated incident, she explained. It reflects an ongoing pattern of emotional avoidance and, at times, subtle manipulation. Andrei's inability, or perhaps unwillingness, to validate Elizabeth's feelings contributes to a cycle where conflict escalates rather than resolves. Elizabeth's reaction, ranging from panic attacks to abrupt exits from the set, fits within a psychological framework of chronic stress response. Dr. Lacey elaborated, when someone consistently experiences emotional invalidation, the body and mind react defensively. Elizabeth leaving the stage mid-panic attack is a classic example of a fight-or-flight response triggered by ongoing relational tension. It is not just dramatic television, it is a real physiological reaction to emotional trauma. Sources close to the cast confirm that this pattern has persisted for years. Crew members describe behind-the-scenes moments where disagreements between Andrei and Elizabeth extended beyond the cameras, often escalating into intense arguments over communication, respect, and household management. It's always simmering. One insider said, even when it seems calm, tension is there. It's like a pressure cooker waiting to explode. The role of public exposure. Dr. Lacey also emphasized the compounding effect of reality television on these dynamics. When you place relationships under a public microscope, every conflict, every nuance is amplified. Couples are not only dealing with their own interpersonal issues, but also the pressure of being watched, judged, and analyzed by millions. This public exposure often exacerbates underlying problems, turning manageable conflicts into highly charged events. Indeed, the tell-all episode captured this perfectly. Andrei's comments were not only disrespectful, they were performed in a public arena, amplifying the emotional stakes. Elizabeth's panic attack was as much a reaction to the content of his words as it was to the public nature of the confrontation. When the world is watching, emotional responses are magnified. Dr. Lacey said, Elizabeth's reaction was real, understandable, and human. Patterns of control and conflict. A critical component of Dr. Lacey's analysis focuses on control dynamics within the relationship. Andrei's interactions suggest a recurring need to assert dominance in emotionally charged moments, often at the expense of Elizabeth's comfort and autonomy. Control doesn't always manifest in overt ways, Dr. Lacey explained. It can appear in subtle dismissals, sarcasm, or emotional detachment. The impact is the same. The other partner feels invalidated, unheard, and increasingly isolated. Elizabeth, according to Dr. Lacey, responds to these patterns with heightened sensitivity and self-protective behaviors. Her panic attacks, emotional withdrawals, and occasional verbal confrontations are mechanisms to protect herself from ongoing psychological stress, she said. Without intervention, these patterns risk becoming entrenched, leading to further relational deterioration. The psychological cost of reality television. While reality television thrives on conflict and drama, experts warn that the human cost can be significant. The cameras capture every vulnerable moment, and the editing process often amplifies tension for narrative impact. Participants are living real lives, but they are also part of a constructed story, Dr. Lacey explained. This dual reality creates an environment where emotional responses are both authentic and performative. It can lead to confusion, heightened stress, and long-term psychological strain. Fans watching the series have weighed in as well, with many expressing concern for Elizabeth's well-being. Social media comments reflect a growing awareness of the psychological impact of her relationship with Andrei. "I feel for Elizabeth," wrote one fan on Twitter. "She's clearly suffering, and it's heartbreaking to watch." Another tweeted, "Andrei needs to take responsibility for how he treats her. This is not entertainment, it's emotional abuse." What this means for their marriage. Given the patterns highlighted by Dr. Lacey, the future of Andrei and Elizabeth's marriage appears uncertain. Persistent emotional invalidation, power imbalances, and heightened public scrutiny are strong predictors of relational instability. Without intentional intervention, therapy, communication strategies, and boundaries, the risk of separation or divorce increases significantly, Dr. Lacey warned. Production insiders have hinted that discussions about marital counseling and mediated conversations have occurred behind the scenes, though nothing has been formally confirmed. "They've had some private talks," one source said, "but the tensions are deep. Andrei has a tendency to dismiss, and Elizabeth struggles to feel heard. It's a tough road ahead." The role of fans and social media. Interestingly, the public's reaction to these dynamics has become another layer in the relationship. Fans, critics, and commentators have created a constant feedback loop that affects how the couple perceives themselves and each other. Social media can act as both a support network and a stress amplifier, Dr. Lacey noted. Elizabeth sees the outpouring of empathy, but she also sees judgment, criticism, and comparison. Andrei may feel defensive, misunderstood, or validated depending on which online voices he hears. This external influence adds complexity to an already fragile situation. The cliffhanger. As Season 9 approaches its finale, questions loom large. Will Andrei and Elizabeth reconcile, or is the cumulative stress of years of tension pushing them towards separation? Will therapy and introspection make a difference, or are the patterns too entrenched to reverse? One thing is clear, the combination of personal vulnerabilities, public exposure, and psychological patterns has created a scenario that is as compelling as it is concerning. Dr. Lacey summarized it succinctly. "We're witnessing a case study in modern relationship dynamics under extreme pressure. It's fascinating, it's heartbreaking, and it's real." A cautionary tale. Beyond entertainment, the unfolding saga of Andrei and Elizabeth serves as a cautionary tale for couples everywhere. The importance of communication, respect, and emotional validation cannot be overstated. As reality television continues to merge real-life experiences with performative drama, viewers are reminded that behind every headline, there are human beings navigating complex emotional landscapes. Fans will be watching closely as the story develops, hoping for resolution, reconciliation, or at least clarity. Meanwhile, therapists like Dr. Lacey continue to offer insights that bridge the gap between entertainment and understanding, providing context for the emotional storms captured on camera. Conclusion of Part 3. The tell-all confrontation, Andrei's bombshell about Jovi and Yara, and the subsequent expert analysis paint a vivid picture of relationships tested by emotion, fame, and scrutiny. While Part 1 and Part 2 highlighted immediate drama and heartbreak, Part 3 provides a deeper understanding of the psychological mechanisms at play. Ultimately, the story of Andrei and Elizabeth is far from over. The public, the cast, and the couple themselves are left with questions about accountability, emotional health, and the sustainability of their marriage under extraordinary pressures. One thing remains certain, the drama of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, is far more than reality television. It's a raw human story unfolding in real time, and its impact will resonate long after the cameras stop rolling. Bilal Haziaz just got fired from 90 Day Fiancé, and the reason is explosive. Fans have accused him of fraud, fake business claims, and financial manipulation, and now insiders say TLC has officially cut him from all future shows. From the moment Bilal Haziez stepped onto the 90-Day Fiancé stage, he was billed as polished, successful, composed a man who seemingly had it all together. But as the season unfolded, fans began to notice cracks in the surface, subtle at first, then impossible to ignore. Now, those cracks have exploded into a full-blown scandal so big, it's shaking the entire franchise. In a shocking turn of events, sources close to production allege that TLC has officially fired Bilal Haziez after escalating fraud accusations, financial manipulation complaints, and new evidence that reportedly alarmed the network's legal team. It's a story filled with secrets, money, manipulation, reality TV spin, and a downfall no one saw coming except maybe the viewers who had been sounding the alarm for months. The whispers began long before the cameras ever stopped rolling. What started as a simple unease from fans the way Bilal talked about money, the strict control he appeared to hold over financial decisions, the constant emphasis on wealth and presentation slowly transformed into a chorus of concern. Viewers started asking whether the polished persona Bilal projected was simply part of a bigger act. Behind the scenes, the network reportedly began fielding complaints. Not just from viewers, but from people claiming to have first-hand knowledge of Bilal's business dealings and finances.
But I feel like if I continue to hold back any longer,
at first,
I will
TLC
be doing
brushed it
myself
off.
a great
Reality
injustice.
TV thrives on controversy. A little drama,
Babe, I don't want you
great
to
for ratings,
feel like you have to
a fan
hold
villain,
anything back.
even better.
Like,
So
this was
why
different.
every time I
According to
talk,
insiders,
I'm the biggest
network was forced
jokester
to
that
take
it is,
action
so
after
I
several
get all that
allegations
fun
came
and humor and all
directly
that.
to TLC's
But then there's
internal tip
also
channels.
when you do
Accusations
something and
involving
somebody's like, you know
fraudulent
what,
business claims,
you overstepped your
misleading
boundaries.
investors,
It's like,
questionable financial
my
behavior,
bad, I didn't mean
and
it that
even
way.
the alleged
But
misuse
then
of
for you, it's
TLC
just
fame
like,
to attract
you know,
clients. It wasn't just
you
online
kept,
chatter
you
anymore.
kept.
It was people coming forward with receipts,
I realize
documents,
definitely
screenshots,
Bilal and my
statements
sense
enough
of
that the network's
humor,
legal
it's
division reportedly
different.
stepped in to review everything.
He played a prank on
That's when
me,
the situation
and I moved
spiraled.
forward. It was not the best
Sources
of pranks,
claim
you know,
the
coming to a whole
network grew
country,
increasingly nervous about
having
being
you
associated with
work so
Bilal's
hard,
name,
and to
especially
see
as more fan investigations
something I was not
surfaced on social
expecting.
media. Reddit
And for him to
threads
not give me the
Facebook fan
same
groups erupted.
allowance,
TikTok
he's not willing
creators
to move
broke down
on from
Bilal's
something so
every
petty.
move, analyzing his
I feel like
businesses,
Bilal,
comparing
he tends to
public
get hurt
records,
so
questioning
easily.
his credibility.
Where
About
suggesting
children,
he
you don't
wasn't the
have
successful
anything to
entrepreneur
say.
he
I
portrayed
do.
on the show.
You don't.
At
I don't
least
think you
not
like
the way
to
he wanted viewers
listen.
to believe.
I would like to
The
have a
pressure
chat
on
with you.
TLC grew daily. With
All I'm
hashtags
saying is
demanding
that
the
can we
network
build a
hold him
good, strong
accountable,
foundation?
climbing into
First,
the tens of thousands
me
of
and you.
mentions. The first major turning point reportedly
If I
came
do a
when
joke
former
later on
associate of
to
Bilal's,
you,
someone who claims
the
they
reality
worked
is
with
that
him
if I did
before his
hurt you,
time
I
on
would be
TLC,
sincere in it. I
contacted multiple
apologize.
production
It wasn't that
insiders alleging
serious, but I
financial
understand
inconsistencies
it's an offense to
and
you, and I will
misrepresentation
not
of
do it
business
again.
activities. What
But at the
exactly
same
those
time,
inconsistencies
when it
were remains
occurred, I felt
unclear, but the
isolated.
claims were
You
serious enough
ignored
that
me.
producers
I
allegedly
was standing
started
outside in my
reviewing
street
old
for a
footage,
while before you
off-camera
came.
interviews,
This is
and
not my place.
production
This is not
notes.
my
They
country.
wanted to see whether Bilal had misled the show about his financial status, his businesses, or anything presented as fact to
I mean,
the
obviously, I
audience.
don't
The
want you to
deeper
cry,
they
but it
looked,
was
the more questions
pretty
they
hurtful to me.
reportedly found. Meanwhile, fans were
And
conducting their
sometimes
own
the best thing
investigations.
to do in the
Some
situation
users
is to be
dug into
silent.
publicly available documents, including
So it was best
LLC
for me to
registrations,
think about
real
it
estate listings,
and
and business license databases. Others found inconsistencies in Bilal's claims about his real estate portfolio. A viral TikTok video questioned whether Bilal's showcase house, used in that infamous prank on Shaida, was really an investment property or something else entirely. Another video claimed that certain business ventures Bilal promoted did not appear in state business directories. Each video racked up hundreds of thousands of views, adding more fuel to an already growing fire. But what truly pushed the situation into crisis mode for TLC were the financial manipulation allegations, spreading among fans accusations that Bilal used money to control, intimidate, or strategically pressure those around him, especially within his relationship dynamics. Viewers pointed to scenes where Bilal lectured about finances, set strict monetary expectations, or used money as a weapon during arguments. What was intended as relationship drama became a public conversation about emotional control and financial power dynamics. A narrative began forming online. Was Bilal manipulating people financially, both on and off the show? The allegations intensified when social media users claimed Bilal was promoting investment opportunities through private messages. Screenshots allegedly circulated in fan groups showed Bilal advertising real estate mentorship and speaking engagements, some of which people claim they paid for but never received. None of these accusations have been officially confirmed, but the volume of claims reportedly alarmed TLC executives, who feared the scandal could grow into a legal liability for the network. Then came the bombshell, whispers from insiders saying TLC had finally pulled the plug. According to one source familiar with internal decisions, the network decided that the risk outweighed the ratings, and Bilal was quietly removed from all upcoming content, spin-offs, and long-term franchise plans. No public statement, no announcement, just a sudden shift behind the scenes, Bilal gone. But as production insiders tell it, the story didn't end there. Once news leaked that Bilal was no longer being considered for future appearances, everything exploded. Fans immediately noticed his absence. Bloggers rushed to publish stories. TikTok creators posted theories. Instagram fan pages lit up with speculation. And then, someone claiming to be connected to Bilal allegedly contacted multiple outlets to defend him, insisting the allegations were false and part of an orchestrated attack by haters. Whether this was actually someone from his inner circle or a fan pretending to speak for him remains unclear. What is clear, however, is that the scandal was now too big to hide. Bilal's exit from TLC, once quiet, had now become the loudest story in the entire 90 Day Fiancé universe. As the story spread across social media, the situation around Bilal Haziez was no longer just a fan rumor or a series of questionable claims circulating online. It had officially turned into one of the most intense and controversial storms the 90 Day Fiancé franchise had seen in years. What had started as a slow trickle of accusations had become a flood of speculation, anger, and demands for accountability, not only for Bilal, but for the network that had showcased him. Inside TLC, tension reportedly escalated. Production staff were caught in a tug of war between maintaining the secrecy of internal decisions and controlling the damage that fan scrutiny was causing. According to insiders, executives held several closed-door meetings to assess the situation, weighing the potential backlash of keeping Bilal in the franchise against the risks of publicly cutting ties. They were worried about viewer trust, potential lawsuits, and the impact on upcoming seasons. Behind every decision was a calculation. What was the safest move? What was the least explosive option? And yet, every day, the situation grew more volatile. It didn't help that Bilal himself remained active online. While he didn't directly address the fraud allegations, his posts hinted at frustration, victimhood, and coded messages about people believing lies and the danger of fake narratives. Fans were split. Some believed he was being unfairly targeted by online hate. Others felt the posts were a diversion tactic, a way to paint himself as the victim while avoiding the growing mountain of questions around his business dealings. Then came the moment that turned the scandal from serious to seismic. A leaked document began circulating online, allegedly showing that TLC had quietly redlined Bilal's name from future cast lists. Whether the document was legitimate was up for debate, but the impact was immediate and explosive. Fans went wild, YouTube creators posted breakdown videos, bloggers released exclusive reports. Facebook groups were flooded with posts claiming that Bilal was officially fired. TikTokers began stitching the document with clips of Bilal's most controlling moments from the show, creating a narrative of downfall that spread like wildfire. In an instant, Bilal had gone from controversial figure to full-blown franchise scandal. And while the public dissected the drama from afar, things behind the scenes took a darker turn. Alleged former business partners began emerging, some anonymously, some publicly, claiming that Bilal had exaggerated his wealth, inflated the success of his companies, or misled them about real estate opportunities. One individual claimed they invested in a real estate seminar Bilal promoted but received nothing in return. Another accused him of promising access to exclusive housing deals that never materialized. None of these claims were independently verified, but their sudden emergence created a crisis atmosphere within TLC. According to one insider, it wasn't about whether the allegations were proven. It was about whether TLC could afford to be associated with someone facing this much public backlash. The network doesn't want another PR nightmare. The final straw reportedly came when multiple fans filed complaints directly with TLC's corporate office, claiming Bilal had contacted them privately offering financial consultations and business partnership opportunities. Some insisted these offers felt predatory. Others said they believed they were being targeted through the fame of the show. Legal teams supposedly reviewed these complaints. And while they could not confirm wrongdoing, the fact that viewers felt pressured or misled was enough to spook executives. Meanwhile, Shaida, Bilal's wife, found herself caught in a storm she never anticipated. Fans began bombarding her Instagram with questions. Some begged her to leave him. Others accused her of being complicit. A few even demanded she explain whether Bilal had manipulated her financially as well. Shaida remained mostly quiet, posting generic messages about peace and healing. But fans dissected every word, every emoji, every silence. Did her posts hint at trouble in the marriage? Was she distancing herself? Was she supporting him privately while staying neutral online? No one knew, and the uncertainty only fueled more speculation. By this point, Bilal's reputation was in free fall. Comment sections on TLC's official pages filled with outrage. Viewers accused him of being abusive, manipulative, dishonest. Hashtags like #FireBilal, #BilalExposed, and #TLCDoBetter were trending across multiple platforms. TikTok creators compiled montages of Bilal's most uncomfortable on-screen moments, labeling them red flags and suggesting the show ignored obvious warning signs. The online pressure campaign against Bilal reached such intensity that friends and acquaintances reportedly began speaking out. One person, claiming to know him from his early real estate days, shared that Bilal always overstated his success to impress people. Another suggested he was known for making promises that didn't always happen. Again, nothing was officially proven, but the number of voices sharing similar stories made it impossible for TLC to ignore. At the same time, a growing faction of viewers argued that Bilal was being unfairly targeted, pointing out that the reality TV editing process is designed to amplify drama and highlight flaws. They insisted that the hate campaign was going too far, and that fans were crossing boundaries by digging into his financials or contacting his associates. This created a heated divide within the fan base, with one side demanding accountability and the other pushing back against what they saw as harassment. Amid this chaos, production insiders claimed TLC made the quiet, final decision. Bilal would not be returning to the franchise in any capacity. Not for a new season. Not for a happily ever after spinoff. Not for a couples update. Nothing. His contract, according to sources, was simply not renewed. A silent firing. But even with Bilal unofficially out, the scandal only grew larger. Some bloggers reported that TLC was considering issuing a formal statement. Others claimed the network was afraid to do so, fearing it would draw more attention to the allegations. The uncertainty left viewers hungry for answers, which only intensified public obsession. The storm surrounding Bilal Haziez had reached its peak. What began as scattered allegations, whispers here, rumors there, had transformed into the largest scandal the 90 Day Fiancé universe had seen since the days of Big Ed's lawsuits, Larissa's arrests, and the countless relationship implosions that made headlines. But with Bilal, everything felt different. This wasn't just about relationship drama or on-screen toxicity. This was about credibility, trust, ethics, and the possibility of fraud, all tied to the face of a franchise that millions watched every week. Behind the scenes, insiders say TLC was panicking. They were terrified of becoming the center of a legal nightmare. They were terrified of fans believing they knowingly platformed someone accused of financial misconduct. And most of all, they were terrified that the scandal would overshadow upcoming seasons and damage the billion-dollar 90-day empire. By the time part 2 of this story had unfolded, it was already too late. Public opinion had turned. Fan outrage had reached a boiling point. And Bilal's name had become so radioactive that even advertisers reportedly grew uncomfortable. According to someone connected to the show's marketing department, one major sponsor allegedly reached out privately after seeing the online backlash, asking whether TLC planned to continue featuring Bilal in new episodes. That was one of the death blows, because when sponsors start asking questions, networks take action. The internal memo, insiders claim, was simple. We cannot move forward with talent that jeopardizes the trust of our audience or our partners. And with that, Bilal's fate was sealed. But the chaos didn't stop there. Just days after Bilal allegedly learned that he had been removed from all future filming, a new wave of accusations surfaced online. This time, it wasn't from fans or former associates. It was from a person claiming to be connected to a business deal Bilal allegedly promoted shortly before joining the show. This individual accused Bilal of misrepresenting investment details and failing to deliver contracted services. Again, none of these accusations were formally proven, but the timing was devastating. The claims spread like wildfire. YouTubers analyzed every detail. TikTok creators made multi-part series. Reddit threads pushed the scandal to the top of fan communities. Even mainstream entertainment blogs began sharing stories, further cementing the narrative that Bilal was in deep trouble. Whether the claims were true or false didn't matter anymore. What mattered was the narrative, and the narrative was spiraling beyond his control. Then came the reaction from Bilal's inner circle. A close friend defended him on social media, calling the allegations a smear campaign. Another person posted that Bilal was a good man who is being torn apart by people who don't know the truth. But these defenses were drowned out by the tidal wave of skepticism online. Fans weren't buying it. They wanted answers. They wanted accountability. They wanted TLC to take responsibility for choosing him in the first place. And where was Shaida in all of this? Her silence had become one of the most talked about elements of the scandal. While Bilal hosted cryptic Instagram stories, Shaida carefully crafted neutral posts. Quotes about healing, prayers for clarity, reminders to stay strong. Fans interpreted every word as a sign that she was caught in the middle of a storm she never asked for. Some believed she was quietly separating herself. Others thought she was protecting him. Some theorized their marriage was close to collapse under